talking, but really what you be talking about. I be making moves out here, that's never what you talk about. You be hating on me, but to me it's never from them.
You're locked in with Atlanta's hottest hip-hop station, The Hype 87.3.
That's right, it is your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live right here in ATL on the Hype 87.3. And today, y'all see who I got with me. Freshie in the building, looking like a whole vibe.
always.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for being here today.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Listen, I got a lot I want to talk to you about, but before we dive in, give us a brief introduction of what you want the world to know about Freshie.
Okay. Well, brief introduction is I'm from the Carolinas. I've been a storyteller my whole life. Been making music since 2006. Figured out how to blend my music with films, with overall inspirational videos, and just trying to give back to the community in the sense of guidance, because I felt like as a kid I didn't have any. So in any realm of creativity, I figured out how to do it my way, in my style, and that's kind of what my brand stands for.
I feel like that's the best way. It's like you can get ideas from other people, but make it your own.
Yes.
Man. So you've been creating since like the MySpace, Dat Piff days. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, you don't look like, not that was ancient, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would put you like at your early 20s.
Low that. No stress. I had to get rid of all the stress.
Listen, drink your water, mind your business.
Yeah,
Clock
period.
that.
Yeah.
Definitely. What does it feel like to have come such a long way from them days, man?
Sometimes it's surreal. Like I had somebody triggered an imposter syndrome for me last month, actually. And it kind of made me feel like I didn't accomplish the things that I've already accomplished, but it also helped me understand, like, I've seen almost every social media platform from start to finish and had a fan base on each one. So my ideology and my mindset when it comes to social media is different because I kind of grew up with it. But it just allowed me to touch so many people. Coming from a place like the country where my family's from in North Carolina to being raised in Columbia and kind of being isolated just because I was different. Yeah. It just allowed me to reach so many other people in the world and create relationships. And I'm so thankful for that.
I feel like we have to get out and venture out.
Yeah.
You know, like, not to say you can't live in your city for a lifetime. I'm not down on y'all for doing that. But I feel like when you're a creative like yourself, it adds to your creativity because now you get a taste of why these people do things this way and why people do this way. And it all can tie in. So your creative, vision when you're putting music or film together.
Yeah.
Definitely. So would you say that living out here in the A now and then also in South Carolina all has incorporated to your hustle?
Absolutely. Because back in the day when I first started doing music, like nobody taught me how to do things. Like I just was asking for like a mic or whatever, and I taught myself everything. I was burning my own mixtapes. I was writing all my music, finding everything, like just trying to figure it out everything on my own. YouTube helped out, but selling mixtapes at gas stations and trying to book shows and not knowing how to do any of it, but still making away from it and touching so many people, that taking what I learned in South Carolina, that entrepreneur mindset, knowing that I'm bigger than what everybody else is doing around me at this time. Yeah. And being able to go to college in Charlotte and doing the same thing I did in Columbia, starting to do more film work, starting to collaborate with people. People want to work with me now. Seeing the numbers shoot up, like it's just, all right, cool. Like it's helping me know that I'm not based off of a location. I can go anywhere in the world and do exactly what I've been doing. So then taking that same hustle and coming from Charlotte to Atlanta, and it's like I have a whole name for myself out here, and a whole brand for myself out here, and I can only be thankful for where I came from,
Absolutely. Do you ever miss like some of the things that were the earlier days hustles, like you mentioned burning your own CDs and selling them at the gas stations? Do you ever miss that part of it?
I definitely do, but it's like I'm one of those people where once I do something once, I don't forget how to do it type thing. But now it's like there's so many other elements of the entertainment industry in general that I have so much more knowledge about, that I understand why you do have to start delegating tasks to certain people. But the fact is, even though I have to maybe restart a team or reconstruct a team or maybe lose somebody for a second, I can just step in and fill that position for as long as I need to. So it never really stops me from grinding and hustling, because I can remove myself from the head and do what I need to do to get the work done.
Man, I feel like you and I are the same person on that, because I've had, no shade, but I'm going to throw a little shade. I've had multiple people that I've hired to come in and help me, assist me with certain things. And it just the hustle wasn't there. Our visions weren't aligning. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it all myself.
Yeah.
And not necessarily is that what I want to do.
Right.
I wouldn't mind delegating certain things. Now, like when I do my mic drop performances, I do hire someone for that. But outside of that, I do everything myself because it's like I feel like if we want it done and in the time frame we want it done, we just got to get in there and do it ourselves.
Yeah, and then it's also like a lot of people won't match your same hustle. They don't have the same passion for what you have going on. And when I try to tell people, you might want to come up and start with a team, but if you're leading a team but you don't have a system, then you don't really have a system for them to follow. You can't teach them. But then when you spend time teaching people your system and they still can't like step up, it's like it honestly is easier for me to just do it by myself. And don't come to me unless you can raise your own bar to have the same hustle that I have, same drive. And if you want to learn, then come to work, come to receive so that we can still produce. Because if you slow me down, I'm just going to let you go anyway.
Absolutely, because I get frustrated as heck. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, just let me do it.
Yeah.
Has it ever been a thing for you to delegate? Like for me, I struggle with that in the beginning because I'm very controlling.
Yeah. I would say, yeah. My first, I got my whole music career up until some point where I was in Charlotte, like 2018, 2019, that's the first person I let somebody else record my music and engineer my sound. So everything from 2006 up to then, I was doing by myself. SoundCloud, BeatStars, not BeatStars, what was the other one? SoundClick, the other platforms that had beats on it. I was just trying to learn instruments. I hear sounds on the radio. How do I find the sounds? I don't know the names of it. So for me now, coming to Atlanta, I've worked with a couple of engineers, for example, that they can give me the sound that I want for myself versus making me sound like something I don't want.
Yes.
So now I can trust you. So now I can delegate this task where I don't have to hold your hand. Now we do 20 different mixes and masters until I feel like it's right. And it's very small details, but I'm a perfectionist in that aspect. Like this is a craft. This is something I do take seriously. I do take constructive criticism very easily, but I'm a perfectionist. So when it comes to film and shooting, I know my style is different compared to other people, but I kind of let people come to me and shoot naturally how you do it.
Yes.
And then if I can teach you how to do something better, I'll do that. Otherwise, I just help you do what you do best naturally and how I can help guide you that. Again, I wish people did that for me, but they want you to fit inside a box, whatever box that is in whatever industry, that the greats are always thinking outside of the system, outside of the box. And if you can't help me think great, and you want me to think like everybody else, I can't be around you. So that's my business model for people that want to come work with me.
I agree. Like I had posted about it online the other day. Is like a lot of people bitch and complain how artists do things.
Yeah.
Well, educate them then. If you don't like how this artist is doing something and it bothers you enough that you bitch about it online, put that same energy in educating them.
Yeah.
And then of course I had a few people come back and say, well, you can't educate people who don't want to learn. I'm like, we can't put everybody in that category because I've worked with some great artists who were teachable. They listened. So it's like, but I feel like some people are just disgruntled because they've had bad experiences and now they throw shade at everybody.
Yeah.
But it's like we got to be willing to each one teach one. Like we've got to be able to put that knowledge is power.
Yeah, knowledge is power, but like you said, people have to be receptive of it.
Yes.
At some point you do have an ego because it's like I have done all the things that I've done already. So there's only so much you can tell me about my brand and like what I want to do or what makes me comfortable, what have you.
Yes.
However, if there's something I don't know, I'll sit down and receive. And then I'll take what you said and I'll go do a whole bunch of research on what you talked about so that I can learn something that I don't know. And that is the reason why I chose Freshie as my name. When I came into high school, the 9th grade, it was freshman, but they called you Freshies as a short nickname or whatever. And so I took that literally to say like, well, in life, you're always a freshman at something.
Yes.
There's always somebody that knows something more than you do that you can learn from. So in a sense, I don't ever think that I know everything, but I'm always receptive to get information from somebody I trust and somebody that's not coming at me from a mindset of I'm talking down on you, but I want you to know this so that you can be better as a person.
Absolutely. My business partner, shout out to OG, I always quote him because he be throwing them gems out there. He says, what can you tell somebody or teach somebody that thinks they know everything? Nothing. We have to always be a work in progress, open to learning new things, like you said, from the people we trust, obviously. Hell, I go to YouTube and I learn a lot of stuff there about what I do here. You know what I'm saying? And what equipment to use. I'm sure you probably in the film side, can learn a lot from YouTube. So let's talk about that. So you've been doing music for a long time. How long you been doing film?
I've been self-producing since about Well, I was doing my music videos back in high school, but I didn't know that was considered film. I just knew I needed a visual for a song. But as far as like writing scripts and stuff like that, my first couple of projects came between 2013 and 2015. I didn't know anything about anything. I just knew I had a camera and I had a computer. And I just wrote a script, casted some of my friends and track athletes at the university, and I just did it. And then after I shot one, it's like, all right, cool, I got this done. Now how can I make it better? And then I deep dive. Like I have a playlist of thousands of videos that says film education, that says music education. And I went from learning lighting, learning audio sounds, learning different things so that my next project will be better. Did the same thing after that, so my next project is better. I think the hardest part with people with film or just creating in general is getting started. People think that they need $5,000 to create a movie. I shot my first movie on like a $200-$300 camera. And I edited it with a Windows Movie Maker. Like, if there's a will, there's a way. You just get better at it. Like
that's how I first started editing my interviews, was on Windows Movie Maker, because I didn't know how to use anything else. Like you said, just start.
Yeah.
Just start. Just like even with being an artist, you don't need the biggest budget in the world. Yeah, eventually, depending on what you're looking to do, you're going to need a bigger budget.
Facts.
But it should not hold you back from starting. Same thing with film. Shoot, pawn shops. Let pawn shops be your friend. Go buy you a little used camera if you got to, or use your cell phone. Hell, they shooting 4K these days, you know? So no excuses.
Yeah.
What would you say has been like the biggest, lesson that you've learned transitioning from music into film?
I think I would have to answer that question backwards. I would have to answer it from because I've done film production now. When I write music now, I think about my songs being in movies.
Oh, okay.
Because when I do my films, I also do the soundtrack playlist and all that stuff as well. And so I can hear a song right now on your station, anybody's station, say, I can see this in this part of a scene. Yeah. Whether it's my project or not, and then I'm writing a script and I already think about that song, or maybe somebody else has a script and I already think about an artist. Like, I see things now universally in the entertainment industry altogether. So now when I make music, it's like, okay, make a song that's also good for soundtracks and sync licensing, not just a song that I just want to make. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So, it broadened your horizon on how you come together with your music. I love that. So are you typically putting at least one of your own songs in your films?
Always.
No, that's right.
I've always believed in, I didn't know what it was, but I always believed in cross promotion. Like, I act in my same projects as well. Like, if I'm going to get millions of views on something, why would I not optimize as much as I can for me?
Yes.
So people know me not only just as an artist or a filmmaker, they know me as an actor, they know me as a writer, director, all of these things. And then they Shazam my music. There's a whole Christmas movie that I did. The entire movie is just my music because I dropped an album. So I used that movie to promote the music on my album. And I'm giving people some sauce right now.
I know, that's right. Like, she putting y'all on game right now.
Yeah, but it's just... And it's fun for me.
Yeah.
You know? It's fun.
And you're right, because there's been series that I watch. Like, I watch films, but I like watching a lot of series. And I will Shazam a song that I've never heard, that's in there. Maybe it's an independent artist, to go figure out what it is. So that's a great way to get discovered, is to have your music. Do you typically, like when you're casting for a film, do you also put like an announcement out, hey, I'm looking for music for the film as well?
Yeah, so either I'll do that. I typically do it more so on the post-production side of things. Yeah. Because I can have an idea when I'm writing a script of a song that would be perfect because I see it in my head. But then once I cast the people and how they deliver lines, or maybe it changes a little bit, I might have to make an adjustment. Yeah. But I still know what sound I'm looking for. Now I'm just looking for a specific sound. Who can give me the energy, the vibe that I'm going based off of? Because I do film and I do music based off of feeling and emotion. Yes. It's not just me writing a script and putting something out there. Like, I have to feel it. And if it doesn't feel right, I'll hold on to something until it feels right. Like,
does your songwriting process look similar to your script writing process for film?
Kind of. I can wake up in the middle of the night and write a whole movie, and write a whole show, a whole season. I can do the same thing with a song, but then sometimes you got to take a little bit more time to do a little bit more in-depth things. But yeah, if I'm in a writing mode, don't talk to me. Like, I might disappear for a whole week, and I'm cranking things out like nobody's business, and then next thing you know, I got a whole 10 episode season and I'm ready to cast. I already know 3 people that I'm casting out of 10 cast members. So it's just a constant. My brain is just a constant like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Like, it's an itch. Like, I just need to get it out. And every day shapes my reality when it comes to writing. So I always have a story. I'm doing the 1 single a month challenge right now. And people are like, you're crazy. You're crazy. How you going to do 1 single a month? I'm like, life. I write real music. I write real music for real people, so I'm never going to run out of things to talk about.
Exactly. I feel like if you're passionate about this, that's easy work for you.
Easy.
Easy
Fun.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. When you wake up in the morning, how do you typically start your day?
I lay in my bed for a few minutes. I try not to get on my phone as much. Now, since I dropped my album, The Rebirth, last year, I will play my song, My Peace. I've been saying in every platform, and I will do it until I die, that your peace is your own to own. And I wrote that song as a daily affirmation for people and a reminder, like, don't let nobody attack your peace. Like, start your day off peacefully and choose that for the rest of your day. And if anybody disturbs that, walk away from it.
Yes.
And just remind yourself, my peace is my own. You can't steal my peace. You can't steal my soul. So definitely starting off with just that ritual of like myself, togetherness, peacefulness, and then whatever happens, happens.
Listen, I'm with you on that. Our peace of mind is priceless.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, if anybody tries to come in and disturb that, leave them where they're at unapologetically.
Mm-hmm.
They are not intended to go on your journey with you. Mm-mm. Do you find yourself, when it comes to writing your scripts, do you typically work alone on that portion of the process?
Yeah. For the most part, unless I'm going into something with another writer, it is just typically me. Or like I'll outline a season. I have a concept of a whole show, and then I'll outline it. I'm giving people sauce. I'll outline it, and then I'll go through and add in like the actual dialogue for things. And then if I'm writing with somebody, maybe that they'll write a part of the script, and then I write part of the script,
Gotcha.
and then I'll make adjustments to it if it doesn't give me what I need. But I try to be as much of a collaborative person as possible. And I believe that everybody should have their own rooms, but you can't really work with everybody either.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's beautiful, you know?
It's funny because I remember early on when I got into this music industry, someone said, you're going to have to work with people you don't like. I said, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
If I don't like someone's attitude and they just rub me the wrong way, I'm not going to be fake and phony and work with that person.
Right.
I don't care how much money it's generating. It's not worth my peace of mind.
Absolutely.
Because they will stress you the hell out.
Yeah. It's different from saying like, oh, this is a piece of shit, to be like, okay, maybe you can deliver this a little better.
Yes.
So if you come at me with this attitude, I don't need to be around you because I'll never speak to you that way. I don't care if you know more about me or not. I'm not disrespecting you. Don't disrespect me. If we can talk and communicate with each other, even in disagreements, we can work.
Absolutely. So when it comes to people acting in your films, are you allowing them to somewhat improv, as long as they're somewhat sticking to the script?
Depends on the person.
Yeah.
Because I also don't have an issue with working with people that never acted before, but I'll either write the role so it's easier for you based off your personality so you can just get used to it.
Yeah.
Or if you're actually good at improv, you still got to say 95% of what I asked you to do. But like I can deal with certain things if you're giving me the vibe that I want. But yeah, I believe grace is always given. I just don't tolerate disrespect.
No, absolutely.
That means not being prepared. If you're not prepared, you got to go.
Absolutely. Me in the last interview, we talked about that because he's also a filmmaker, and he said one of his biggest things is, they either not showing up or showing up late because it throws your whole What if you have a whole scene with this person and they don't show up? It's like...
Yeah. And people don't realize too, like, this isn't just, I have a room that's free. I could spend $10,000 on one day for 6 hours.
Yes.
And my thing is, I don't even mind if you're late. If you know that you're an hour and a half late and you tell me you're going to be on my set in 20 minutes, I'm already irritated. You have one time to do that. And if you do it again or anything close to that, I'm just going to recast you. And I would much rather deal with somebody else and start everything all the way over than to keep being disrespected. Because if you tell me 20 minutes, now I can work with somebody else and just make sure they're prepared for the scene so that we can all shoot in 20 minutes. If you told me originally, even though I'm going to be mad, an hour and 30, now I can shoot a whole other scene. Now we can do something else that's productive and I can adjust. But without being honest, then I can't do that. And that makes it already a more inconvenience for me as a producer. Like, it's just, I can't do it.
It shows pure disrespect that they don't respect your time whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Period. Yeah. So if you're going to be 20 minutes late, don't say, oh, I'm 10 minutes away. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be an hour and a half late, don't say 20.
I got it down to send me a screenshot of your GPS. Just send me a screenshot.
Because like the saying goes, if you're on time, you're still late or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You want to try to arrive early if you can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Most definitely. So let's talk about the Rebirth, your project. That sounds like a very personal statement to me.
Yes.
Okay. So where exactly were you at, mentally when you were writing this project?
So again, I've been making music for so long, almost 2 decades, and at some point I kind of got lost into a relationship, and I made everything about them and what they wanted to do, and even though it was for us, it was more for them, and so I stopped making music as much. I started losing myself a lot, and I'm just like, why do I feel like I'm here, I'm producing things, but I don't feel me, I don't feel like me. And so once I was able to remove myself from that situation, it's like, well, let me get back to who I am at the core, and that's where the whole Rebirth came from. I used to have a mohawk, everybody knew me from my mohawk, to the point I could be in the grocery store, they said, I know the back of that head anywhere. Like, I was like, dang, okay.
That's funny.
Yeah. So like, but I'm like, I need a fresh start.
Yeah.
And so the team that I was working at the time was just like, just a full rebirth, cut your hair off. So I don't know how I feel about that. That's a brand thing right there. Hold up. But it was uplifting. It was a release. And it was like, all right, now that I know what I know about film, I'm going to produce an album that's global. There's no cuss words on it whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's 21 minutes long in duration. It got house, pop music, Afrobeat, R&B, rap music on it. And it even got a Jersey Club song on there. But for me, it's like, if this is your first time hearing me as an artist, I want you to see how diverse I am as an artist.
I love it.
And then it's clean music. So I don't care if it's corporate. I don't care if it's a kid event. I don't care if it's whatever, a club event. I have music for everybody. And so that is what I'm going to come to with everything that I know now and rebirth myself as an artist and reintroduce myself as an artist, Freshie 2.0. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm grown now. I'm 31 years old. I'm not a kid. I know what I'm doing, and I'm confident in that. And so that's what started the whole Rebirth thing and dropping the album. My album release party, I had a live band. That was my first time doing that. I self-produced a mini documentary. So that was shown there, and then I did the listening party. And then after that, I went on tour.
That's dope.
It's just, I'm going to remind you how I got here to begin with, because it did start with a mic.
Absolutely. And I feel like having that clean music out the gate, you don't have to get ready. You're ready.
Yeah.
Someone could come to you this afternoon and say, hey, man, I got this, kids event coming up. Are you able to perform at it? Yep, sure can. I got this corporate event. Can you perform at it? Yep, sure can. You don't want to have to fumble with trying to either record a new song or get your engineer to clean it up. And it's like, record it clean out the gate.
Yeah.
You're ready to go. You're radio ready, film ready, etc.
Yep.
Because, the goal is to have your music land in multiple places, not just on SoundCloud or Spotify.
Absolutely.
That's cool,
Yeah.
but it's bigger than that.
Yeah, and I really wanted to create a project, like I said, and I led it with the single My Peace, because I needed healing from a toxic relationship.
Yes.
I needed peace from a toxic relationship. I lost myself. I could never allow anybody else to do that again. And that was the main single that pushed that album. And it was just important for me to give people upbeat energy, upbeat vibes. And it's a sad song if you actually look into the lyrics. It's uplifting, but it's sad, but it's over this Afro beat that it makes you like, it's empowering. And so all of those things were very intentional for me as an artist. And it was such an easy song to write because it is so simple, but it's catchy enough to know in the moment you're getting stressed out, you can't steal my peace, you can't steal my soul.
And I read something online the other day, and it said something to the effect of that most women get into relationships at some point in time and they lose most of their friends because we're so into the person that we're dating. And I was like, man, I felt that, because we lose ourselves too.
Yeah.
And I think one of my biggest lessons I've learned about relationship is setting boundaries.
Yeah. But if you're dating somebody that's like a narcissist or whatever, and I know that's a tough terminology or term right now, but like if you are, like you end up taking things that aren't actually yours.
Yes.
And then even if you set boundaries, they don't even respect them. So it's like, is it me? Like, am I doing something wrong? And then you are isolated by people, whether it was your choice or whether it kind of was manipulated in a sense. And it's like you do lose yourself because you're so big on trying to make this person happy,
yes,
but that you lose yourself in it. And then they're not even filling your cup up the way you need to. So it's like, oh man, this is a lose-lose situation. Like, it's
such a thin line between, do I want to put up with that or should I just stay single?
Facts. Literally.
Like, right now, I'm cool with being by myself. Like, and I feel like, and I think about it sometimes, not to get off subject, but I'm like, if I end up just being by myself for the rest of my life, am I cool with that? Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
Because I like doing things on my terms, and it's just, I get frustrated. I ain't gonna lie, I get frustrated when, people do the complete opposite of me. It's like, we gotta learn to make compromises.
Yeah, for sure. And I also say that to say, like, when you find yourself not giving yourself the things that you need and that person's not reminding you you didn't come to me for what I like. You didn't come for me.
Yes.
You came to me for you.
Yes.
But I'm celibate now just because I don't want to have soul ties with people.
Me too.
And then on two, it's like I don't mind being in a relationship, but you have to be somebody that's for me. I'm not gonna force things with anybody. If you come in and you line off rip, you gotta go. I don't care how small it is, because I'm such an honest person.
Yes.
If I can be honest about everything, you can be honest about everything. And my whole life is online. Again, I've been online for almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, over 2 decades. But you can look at my life as a child. You know all of my trauma. You know everything that I've been through. So I'm an open book already.
Yes.
I need an open book. I can't have that. And then I don't care if you're in art world. I don't care if you're in IT. I don't care if you do something else. Whatever you got going on, I'm going to let you do your thing. So that means you got to let me do my thing. And that's a boundary I'm not willing to risk.
That is facts. And something else, too, that I'm going to throw out there that I earlier in life thought it was kind of strange, but now I completely embrace it, is having separate bedrooms from your partner. Mm-hmm. Like having that little, y'all can have your sexual relations, but when it's time to go to bed, y'all go your separate ways.
Yeah, I can see how that would be beneficial. It to each his own. I personally would rather go to sleep with my person every night, but I would hope to not be in another toxic situation where I need to be away from you. I don't mind sleeping on the couch. I don't mind doing whatever, getting space if we need space, but I don't think that I need a separate bedroom. But I'm also 31. Look, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
I've heard that from old, like not, you know what I mean? I've heard it from older people that are like in their 40s and 50s and things like that they want that, or they even have their own separate apartment from them. But I also have seen, my parents have been together for over 40 years, but I also seen people be together for 40 years that are miserable. So it's a difference sometimes too. Like
it is. And I never felt that way until I got into my 40s. Because before that, I'm like, I want to be up under my partner.
Yeah.
But then I felt like as I got older, and I'm just like, I just want my space. I don't want to hear you snoring, because you end up with a snore. It sounds like they're chopping wood. And
Yeah.
I can't get good sleep like that. So I'm like, you go sleep over there and we'll rekindle in the morning. Okay?
Yeah. That makes sense.
So you're on a self-produced 7-city tour to push your album.
Yes.
What would you say? How many cities have you touched so far?
For the album or for just in general?
For the tour.
There would be the 7 cities for that one specifically last year.
Okay.
And you said what would be the biggest what?
So what would be the biggest lesson that you learned that maybe if you decide to do a tour again, that you'll do a little differently?
Nothing. I wouldn't do anything differently. I would add more people, add more stops to the tour.
Yeah.
But then that comes with, I'm being independent, so I'm doing things myself. And people book me.
Yeah.
But it taught me my value.
There you go.
Because living here in Atlanta, people minimize you, especially if you live here and they're used to seeing you all day, every day. And I'm like, but I can go here and be offered residencies. I can go here and be flown out and paid for headlining and just, you know what I mean, really
Yes.
poured into outside in cities I've never touched before.
Correct.
And so it's like, yeah, I do have a fan base, but I come back home and it's just like, oh, that's just Freshie. Oh, Freshie, can you do this for me for free? Or, oh, Freshie, can you shoot this? Can you do da-da-da-da? But it's like, at no point have you used your platform to help me. None.
That is the biggest facts ever. I tell artists all the time, it gets to a point where you have to kind of draw back because you water yourself down.
Yeah.
If Freshie shows up to every single event every night, nobody's going to be like, oh, I need to book Freshie. You know what I'm saying? She's going to pull up anyway.
Yep.
Tampa's going to pull up anyway.
Yep.
I feel like in the beginning stages when you move to a new city, you got to be out a little bit because you got to
Absolutely.
meet people.
Yeah.
But it comes to a point where you got to scale back because
Yeah.
it devalues you for sure.
Yeah, and it would be different because there's a place that I've been to that I host at now. It's called MSR. I don't host every week, but I host every blue moon. But like they show me so much love, even if I'm just there to show up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they make sure that they take care of me, they appreciate me, they thank me. Like it isn't just like, okay, Freshie's just here, like cool.
Right.
It's more. It's a real. You can tell when something's more genuine than other places, and it's just. I didn't mind showing up. I didn't mind supporting. But if I'm coming to your album release parties, your single release parties, your premieres, I'm showing up in your projects and things like that. How come when I look in my events, I don't see y'all?
Exactly. Listen, absolutely.
I don't see y'all, and that makes me not want to do anything for you because it could have just been reciprocated from day one.
I agree, because there was a point where I was doing events twice a week.
Yeah.
And, like I would go out and support other people, or I'd even go out to other events to try to scout talent for mine or whatever
Yeah.
it may be. And these people are constantly asking me, pull up. And I'm like, when was the last time you ever pulled up to one of mine?
Yeah.
You don't have to always ask me to pull up. Now, I just don't even really go out anymore.
Yep.
At my big age, I have no desire. and I battle with that with people because I feel like I get people who are in their 20s and they'll throw events and be like, oh, I'm at the strip club tonight. Pull up. I said, I'm not old, but I'm 51 years old.
Oh, yeah.
I have zero desire to be out past like 11 o'clock at night. I want to be in my bed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I did so much of that in my 20s, 30s, and even slick in my early 40s. I was going out a lot. Now I'm just like, man, I just can't wait to go to bed, you know?
You probably prefer the daytime events.
I do.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was just talking to one of my friends yesterday, and we're going to be putting together like a networking mixer. And I told her, I said, let's do it on a Sunday afternoon.
Literally, from 2 to 6.
Exactly. And she's like, I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
I don't want no, let's be there till 3 in the morning. Like,
and to be honest, the atmosphere feels different during the daytime than it is in the nighttime. That's when the night crawlers come out.
right, because they want to be in there turning up.
Yeah.
I feel like if you do something during the day, you can be a little bit more productive.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. So you've had your movie screening at the Limelight Theater here in Atlanta.
Yes.
Which is the biggest screen in your career.
Yes.
Like monstrous. Okay. For your short film called That Night.
Yes.
What's the storyline for people who haven't seen it behind that particular film?
Because it is a short film, so it's just two people that haven't really had the best time and best luck in life. They come across an opportunity to kind of change their lives, and it just becomes a little bit more traumatic than they thought.
Yeah.
And so that was a challenge for me because I don't like writing short things. Music and poetry, that's one thing I can write that short.
Yeah.
But an actual film, I like to tell stories. So I like longer things or longer seasons. So that, and the intention for that was putting everything in film festivals just for more exposure. So being able to produce that project in 4 days, really 4.5 days, was amazing.
So when it comes to like submitting your film to like film festivals, like you said, does it have to be a certain duration, not too long, not too short, or?
Yeah, each one's different.
Okay.
So yeah, they have different requirements, and just like some of them, you can't have a public viewing. Like, I can't put it on YouTube or Tubi. Like,
Got
it
you.
has to only be private screenings, which is why I did it at the Limelight.
Got you.
But yeah, they all have their own different regulations to things.
Got you. And where do you typically look to place your movies? Is it like on YouTube and places like that, or?
So yeah, I like my stuff on YouTube because that's where my fan base originated from. And I thought about creating my own network and my own platform. But if I have 15 million people on this platform and I take it into my own, and now that 15, I'm sorry, let me do 100,000 subscribers goes to like 1,000. It's not. I didn't do it for the money.
Yeah.
I didn't. I wanted to touch people. So unless it's a major platform, I'll put it on there. But I'll still try to see if I can keep something on YouTube. Or I'll just make a show just for YouTube because they deserve it. You know?
I feel like YouTube is probably the largest stream platform out there because you can watch it. You don't need an app to watch it.
Yep.
You can stream it from your browser, from your phone, your television. Like, you don't need to subscribe. You don't have to subscribe or pay for it. You can just stream it.
Yep.
Do you want to look into doing like a distribution to get your films maybe on Tubi and Amazon at some point?
So I've already started looking into all that. I've had that account set up for probably 3 or 4 years, but after that relationship, I kind of took a break from production in general.
Yeah.
Just because I kind of had a point to prove. I'm not gonna lie. It was like I never needed you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tried to assist you, I tried to build with you, or whatever. But like in reality, I'm gonna just do music because I just don't do film. You know what I mean? Then I pop back out with a short film that looks amazing. And to have an accomplishment like being in the Limelight Theater, I don't know anybody else that I've met personally that's been in the Limelight Theater. Not that I'm comparing myself, but it's just like I see things on a much bigger level that I don't care about the small stuff y'all talking about.
I know that's right.
And so, yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about that.
So are you currently doing film and music full time?
No. So as of last June, I actually got a job with a corporate company.
Okay.
And that helped me finance like a lot of my other stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing right now. But outside of that, like today's my off day. It's fully booked with creative stuff. So whether I'm at work, when I get off work, I'm doing creative stuff. I'm out all night. Like I said, I had 3 hours of sleep last night. So, and I came up and I'm doing what I got to do today. But I just found a balance and figure out how to balance. Because once you're in the system, you got to understand the system. Now, how can I still do my stuff outside of this one system and still be productive? And that's pretty much where I'm at now.
Listen, I tell these artists all the time, do not quit your job if you have one that's funding your career and paying the bills, because let's be honest, if you're a full-time entrepreneur, chances are there's no money going toward your retirement.
Yeah.
Everything is going into your business and paying the bills. So it's like, when you get 65, how are you going to retire if you have nothing saved?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I worked in corporate America for 23 years, and during that time I was contributing. And I even told my business partner, I said, probably the next 5 years I might go back into the workforce to continue contributing. That way I can retire on time.
So I'm glad you said that, because I was working for myself. I have my company's name is Freshie Productions. And so I was working for myself for years. But because I do shoot, I also edit, I also book, I'm also an artist. What ended up happening was I had a lot of projects that were filmed that still needed to be edited.
Yeah.
And so now if I can't take those hours to go shoot more stuff because I got to edit, so now I'm not getting paid to shoot. So my bills started getting caught up, and it's just like, you know what? Let me just get this job real quick. Let me catch back up.
Yeah.
Let me edit these projects. Let me get whatever. But now I'm on that itch where like, all right, time's up. I got to get back out there because I don't have the freedom to move around the way I want to.
Yeah.
Like I used to be able to take off 2 weeks and go to Tampa or New Orleans or LA or whatever I needed to do. I had the freedom. Now it's like kind of having to ask permission, and it's like it's starting to clash again. And I always say yes to things until I say no, but I'll keep something until it kind of eliminates itself too. And I feel like, not saying I want to lose anything right now, but like it's starting to get to that time where my career is going in a different way, and this is kind of hindering it for real.
It will, absolutely. And that's kind of where I've been on the fence with it, because I feel like, man, if I got to go back and work, even if it's part-time and I'm giving them 20 hours a week, that's a lot of hours every week. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like I've been so on the fence with it. But what do you feel like is the most rewarding besides having time, having, you know, your independence and being an entrepreneur?
What do I find the most important?
Like the most rewarding?
Honestly, you don't have to, you just wake up and do whatever you want to do. Like you really do just have a freedom to just create. Now it's just terrible for people that don't have discipline or structure or any plan to do whatever.
Yes.
Because you can just get lazy. But if you're somebody that is self-motivated and driven and you're an executor, everybody can have ideas, but if you're not an executor, it's going to be more difficult for you. So just being able to take that time for myself and actually produce as many things as I've done, again, with no guidance, just me deciding I want to do something, that's probably the most rewarding feeling. And then having people come up to me for pictures and saying how much I saved their lives or I helped them through this, because all of my stuff is relatable. I don't like mindless content. I don't like mindless shows. I don't like reality TV. I like things with substance, something that I can relate to. And I give that to other people because a lot of people get lost in the sauce.
No, facts.
And watching reality is not real reality. So
it's literally draining you and wasting your time.
Yeah. So definitely reaching people, helping people, and seeing that come back. And then again, being on social media for as long as I've had and having a fan base on every platform just shows what I'm doing to impact the world is across the board. It's not just a luck thing.
Right. Absolutely. And you had mentioned something a couple of minutes ago I want to circle back to, is about balance. Mm-hmm. What does work-life balance look like for you right now?
Just go to sleep and wake up tomorrow.
Take it a day at a time.
Listen, I got home at midnight last night, and then I still had to bleach my hair, and I still had to get prepped for today, and I didn't go to sleep until like 3:45. Then I woke up at 7 o'clock, had a production meeting, then I had to get ready for this interview, I had to go to the barbershop. Like, to me, it's really, let me just have my corporate job in these days and maybe do studio sessions. My studio sessions can go until 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and then I go back, get up again for work the next day. But just knowing that I'm in a grinding season and I can't have any other distractions, I'm going to give my energy to just this.
Yes.
And then minimizing the things that I know now are not pouring back into me. Now I have more energy for myself. So if I am grinding and I'm working almost 20 hours a day and having 4 hours of sleep, it's worth it because this is a temporary period. So my balance is removing the things that drain me, removing the people that drain me, and focusing on what aligns with me and self and what makes me happy, and giving that 100%.
Listen, I couldn't agree more. We find time for what's important to us and we focus on that.
Yes.
Period. Everything else.
Gotta go.
Gotta go.
I gotta go.
No pun intended. We're going to listen to it in a few minutes. But I feel you on that, because it's like these outside distractions can become very, very draining to you.
Yeah.
So what is your normal work schedule at the corporate job? Is it vary or is it the same?
So it's a salary position. So, if you work outside of your hours, you don't get paid any extra for it. So technically, we're supposed to be on site at 8:30, and then I get off at 5:30.
Yeah.
But like I said, I didn't get home till midnight last night. I didn't leave the customer's location until like 11:40 something at nighttime. And so for me, it's hard for me to balance things outside of those days because I know it can be wishy-washy.
Yeah.
So I don't ever schedule anything important on the days that I'm at work.
Got you.
But
Makes
I always
sense.
have like one day throughout the week off and one day on the weekend off. So I just make that I just pile everything else on top of that.
again, just having that structure. I feel like we can absolutely make things happen. We just got to set structure and like maybe like a blueprint for ourselves.
Yep.
Because again, like I said, if I decide to get back into like, you know, working in the corporate world, I'm like, right now I'm used to being able to go to bed when I want, wake up when I want. And I feel like it would take a little discipline, you know, like, and I don't be staying up no crazy. I'm usually asleep by midnight. Let's just keep it G because I'm an old lady. But I also get up early and I get to it. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So tell us about your one single a month challenge. You mentioned it earlier. What inspired you to do this?
So like I said, with that, I hold on to music. So people have been hearing my music in different projects, my projects, whatever, but it ain't been out loud. So I put my first album out called For My Fans because they were just begging for me to drop it. So I was like, all right, here, just throw everything together. Here's 21 songs, y'all have it. And so I would say the one single a month challenge was like, I have so many great songs, but they're kind of like individual. They're not like a project. Like I intentionally made an album last year, but now everything else is like, these are great songs, but like, what am I doing with it? And so I worked with a producer out of Kenya, and he was like, why not take the Joyner Lucas approach and just release singles? And I was like, that's not a bad idea.
Right.
But you know what? I'm going to intensify it a little bit more. I'm going to drop one single a month. That's going to hold me accountable. That's going to give people something to look forward to. Let me just try to embark this journey of just creating and then reintroducing myself back to the creative realm of social media. Because at that time, I had stopped posting a lot. I had really isolated myself to heal myself from that relationship. And let me come back and pop my shit type shit. And so I was like, cool, let me do it. And it allows me to still show my versatility as an artist. It allows me to explore different genres. I just did like a reggae type feature for an artist out of Miami, and then it's like, all right, now I'm doing the Afro pop, now I'm doing rap, I'm just showing me, and whatever's for you from me is for you from me, but I can do it again and again and again and again and again and again.
I know that's right. Was there like one of the genres that kind of surprised you? Like, man, I don't know if it was a little bit of a challenge for you, but it really took off?
Yeah, I have a song called Stay, and most people, I like Maroon 5. Like, I like more popish music anyways, because again, I like feel good vibrational music. And so I told my engineer, I'm like, hey, I want to do these songs. And he's just like, well, this ain't really up my alley. So you got to just trust me a little bit. So we played around with it and performing it in some of the places. Like I performed for Young Jock one time, and everybody else around me was doing the trap music and things like that. But I'm like, this is either going to work or it's not going to work. Because everybody wants a refreshing sound. They want something different. I want to stand out. I don't want to sound like y'all.
Yeah.
So outside of the rap stuff, I did the Stay song. It's like it's a house pop cross song.
Yeah.
He's like, no, that's like the top 10 right there. Like that's the sound right there, because that's different.
Yes.
And so just getting that confirmation from him, and every time I perform, and it's just like, where did this come from? And you look at me, you don't expect it from me, and it's just like, yeah, it's dope.
I know that's right. You got to find ways to stand out.
Yeah.
We ain't trying to fit in. We ain't trying to box ourselves in. And I feel like you have absolutely proven to yourself and to the world that you can literally do it all.
Literally.
You can do it all.
I love it. It's fun.
If you had to, not to say you'll ever have to, but if you had to choose between picking up the mic or picking up the camera, which one would it be?
Ooh. That's hard.
That's a difficult one.
Yeah, that's hard. Because it's two different feelings. Like when I'm on the microphone, I'm performing, like I'm on the stage, I'm making eye contact with you in real time, and I'm feeling your energy in real time.
Yeah.
Whereas production is more of a process, and it's so rewarding because you had to go through so many layers to even produce it, but then you touch so many people that you find out later. Like it's like it's like a later gratification.
Yes.
So it's kind of hard, but I feel like I could touch more people doing film, which is why I just add my music in the films.
Yes.
But as far as like what sits vibrationally with me in real time in the moment, I would have to say music.
Got you. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So I know you said that you're focused, you're hungry, and you're dropping the distractions, right? What kind of energy right now makes sense for Freshie to surround yourself with?
Laughter. Lighthearted spirits. Yeah. And once I really started focusing on just that, like me, and not that I'm looking for myself in front of other people, but like who else is like pouring that same positive, always positive vibes, and then who else is actually doing something? Because people that are just living life and following, they're not the same people that are out actually trying to create their own wave. And so the more I focus on people that are like me, that are executing, that are actually producing for real, and that have that lighthearted energy, everything else around me started changing. Because it's like, it really wasn't me. It was just, I wasn't with the right people. Like it didn't make sense to me. So that energy of just always having Freshie, you good? Like, I don't want nothing. I'm just checking in. You good?
Yeah.
Or like, what ideas you want to bounce off me? Or you bounce ideas off me? That's mentally stimulating for me. I like intelligence in that aspect.
Yeah.
Intellectual conversations. I'm also a Sagittarius, but but like the other shallow conversations, I can tell the difference now, and I can compartmentalize for some people, but other than that's not no shade to nobody. It's just I can't get off the wave that I'm on right now because it feels too good. Like it's a choice to now be distracted.
Listen, I feel like that just comes with maturity and growth.
Yeah.
You know, like we can't please everybody, nor should we try to. I posted about that the other day, and I got a lot of engagement off of that because too many people out here try to be people pleasers because they don't want to hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah.
You have a strong personality. I have a strong personality, and there's times where I hurt people's feelings, but not intentionally.
Facts.
Do you deal with that as well?
Absolutely. That's because and I don't mean no harm, but people
Yeah.
that are for me know, like sometimes I might not say it the right way, but I'm really not saying it in a way that's trying to hurt you.
Yeah.
But like I'll give them a heads up disclaimer, like, hey, I ain't saying it like this, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say it, and they give me the free space. But like, not saying that people can't be sensitive. That's fair. I can understand that.
Yeah.
But if you can't handle my personality, I can't keep shape shifting for everybody around me. Like, and I'm not saying that to say I'm stuck in bad habits. It's just me being blunt with you, and you're being dishonest to me. I would much rather deal with bluntness.
Man, because that's exactly what happens is people become dishonest.
Yes.
Because I experience it, and I'll call them on it too. Yeah. I'll be like, but you said this.
Right.
Or you told me this, or you did this, but
Yeah.
you're saying this. Like,
Yeah.
not trying to be mean, but it's like some people need to be called on their BS.
Yeah, and accountability is the main
Accountability.
thing. Like, my words this year is intentional interactions. So that's my theme. But the subcategory is accountability. If I can have a conversation with you and you have zero accountability, because I self-reflect like nobody's business.
Yeah.
I'm so self-aware that like I just have to stop second guessing at what I feel.
Yes.
But like after this interview, I'm gonna self-reflect in the car on the way home. I'm gonna think about everything, process everything, what we talked about. I do that for every situation I'm ever in. And so for me, if you came to me and be like, honestly, Freshie, like how you came in the door, like how you said this, that, and the third, like I'm gonna take accountability for it. I'm gonna receive it with a grain of salt, whatever, but I'm gonna process it because some of it's true. If I can't do that to you, now you lose access to me.
Yes.
Because I don't need yes men, and I don't want to be a yes man. And if I feel like something might not be in your best interest, I'm gonna let you do it. But it would be a disservice of me to just be around you and let you. You know what I mean? Like I'm here to help, and if you don't want the help, then just dip.
I would rather be by myself than have people that around me.
Facts.
Because my business partner, he has corrected me or pointed things out to me that I didn't even notice.
Facts.
That's the type of people you want to have around you.
Yep.
He always says, stop pointing the finger and start pointing the thumb. Take that accountability. Stop blaming everybody else for why your shit is messed up.
Absolutely.
Take that accountability.
Yep.
100%. How would you define quality when it comes to your brand?
That is my brand. Like everybody that knows me knows like Freshie's gonna do a quality song, quality mix, quality film, quality.
Yeah.
I'll take quality over quantity any day. Just like I said, my album release party. If I'm gonna do something, it's an experience. I'm not gonna just do something just to say I did. Like I'm not gonna write a script just to say I wrote one. So literally everybody says Freshie comes with quality. If you book Freshie, if you hire Freshie, if Freshie's an actor, she's gonna come correct.
Yes.
I just embody quality because I care about what I do and I care about my brand and I care about your brand.
Yeah.
I might care about your brand more than you care about your brand. But
Yeah.
like if my name is attached to something, I want it to be the best thing that it could be.
Why do some people not understand that concept? Because I'll give you a quick example. An audio engineer. Mm-hmm. So oftentimes they go in there and they will half-ass that mix. Mm-hmm. Why would you not want to put your best effort into that mix because it reflects back on you? Because if I listen to your song and the mix is whack, I'll be like, first thing I'm going to say is, who mixed this for you?
Yeah.
Oh, it was so-and-so. I'm like, well, dang, I'm not going to ever want to work with that person.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to put 110% of your quality into everything you touch, whether it's yours or not?
Speaking for other people, I think it's just more so of money. Like you're not really passionate about it because, like I said, if my name is attached to something, I want it to be the best version it can.
Period.
But I've had a mix engineer before that you just mix everybody the exact same, but there's no, not saying that every engineer has to do coaching and things like that, but like you're just throwing something out there and just giving it to somebody when like if it was your project, you would give it a lot more energy to it.
Exactly.
And it's like, I'm not saying you got to do everything the same way you would do it for yourself, but at some point, you know that this doesn't sound good. So why would you give it to somebody? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't work with you.
100%. So what are you currently working on film-wise and music-wise?
Film-wise, right now, I'm just trying to get that stuff on the film festival list. I'm actually thinking about dropping the film on YouTube too, but it just limits the amount of film festivals I can submit it to.
Right.
But I want to get something out to my fans since I haven't dropped anything in a while. Outside of that, I'm trying to wrap up the tour for my for this year. I'm trying to solidify dates and times, but a lot of the locations that are trying to book me haven't booked their dates and times, so it's hard for me to put out a schedule. So I'm waiting for that, and then again, continuing the one single a month challenge. When I tell y'all, I got like dozens of songs already in the bank. Like, it's just so easy. I go to the studio, I knock out 3-4 songs in 2 hours. Like, it's so easy for me. So I'm just excited to just see where that keeps going, because as you can tell on my page, like, I'm getting more recognition and more just exposure in general. So I just want to keep doing what I'm doing and just trusting my gut with what I want to do, because again, if I listen to so many other people, oh, that's crazy. You sure you want to do that? And I'm like, you should be helping me try to figure out how to do it. And
exactly right. Say that again.
So you should be teaching me how to do it, or helping me figure out how to do it. We're just telling me it's impossible. Nothing's impossible.
And we hear a lot of that.
Yeah.
And to me, it just says, well, you don't believe in me.
Yeah.
Like, straight like that. Definitely.
But just like Tory Lanez, he was in jail and he wanted to do the album. The person he was speaking to was trying to talk about, like, I don't know, we can do that. Da, 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 da. He's like, if I'm the one that's in jail and I can do all of these things, what do you mean you can't figure out how to do it in the outside world? Like, you should be figuring out how to do it.
That's right.
When you're dealing with people that are already thinking outside the box, the best thing you can do is buy into whatever they have going on.
Correct.
Especially if it's working.
Right. Those are the type of people you want to surround yourself with.
What?
Because let's be honest, that person that's making $50,000 a year can't tell you how to get to that milli because they haven't done it.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's no shade.
Facts.
But
if you work, not saying again, no shade. If you work a 9 to 5 and you don't have that creative aspect, that entrepreneur aspect, or that executing creatively aspect, I cannot take your full advice.
Period.
I know you care about me as a person, but I cannot take that because you don't even know what it takes to think about what I want to do.
That's right.
You don't even know. You can't see it. So it's like, people that, if you want advice, you want your friends, you can't give everybody your ideas, because some of them will break you down before they build you up, because they don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly, because they haven't experienced it.
They don't.
Someone who's had 3 failed marriages should not be a marriage counselor. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, again, it could be on the other person's side.
Yeah.
But I don't know that. I'm like, damn, she or he's been divorced 3 times. What are they going to tell me about marriage? You know what I'm saying? Because theirs didn't last. So, so we got this record called Gotta Go.
Yes.
Who produced this one?
This Carby, my engineer, he produced it, and he also engineered the music as well.
Got you, most definitely. Tell us about this record. Like, it could be self-explanatory off the title, but what does it mean to you?
For me, it's just like, I got to leave these people behind. I got another song coming out called Elevate, but I had to leave these people behind, the people that I thought were going to help me. We were building something serious. And even with Atlanta, I want to move out of Atlanta.
Me too.
I don't know where I'm going just yet, which is why I want to tour this year to different cities I haven't been to.
Yeah.
But like, I got to go because I know I'm bigger than where I'm at right now, and I know that I'm working on something beautiful and that the rest of the world enjoys me, but I got to go. Y'all can talk about whatever drama, whatever fictional things y'all want to believe, but y'all aren't talking about the actual things that I'm actually accomplishing, just like the theater. Nobody else is doing that. That should be something. That's a write-up. That's a, Freshie, oh, damn, you came to Atlanta. You came and popped your shit. Like, yo, let's talk about it. Like, how are you? What? It's never that. It's just more so of, oh, well, you know that this relationship didn't work, or, oh, did you see this? Oh, they're going back and forth on Instagram. Bro, like, yo, I'm doing so many other things that what you're talking about is not important.
It's irrelevant. It is irrelevant. And to me, it's mind-blowing that grown men and grown women be bickering back and forth online when they're from the same city. It's like, why can't you meet up and like talk man to man about it? You guys are literally bickering, because I see it like between the DJs and everything else. I'm like, what is going on? But I'm with you though. Like, this isn't my last stop. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just trying to figure out where you may want to go next. Mm-hmm. And who did the artwork for Gotta Go? Because it's fire.
Thank you. I did that. And then the photo shoot was my idea too. So I've been doing a lot of my own cover arts as well. I just have a style, but I like that one, and it's like hats off. You know what I mean? Like,
I love it. It's giving me like MJ vibes almost. You know what I'm saying? So and I like it's black and white too. I like that too.
Yeah, and then for it to look like that and give that vibe, and then it's a rap song, it's just like, oh, this is beautiful. Thinking outside the box, yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like the single artwork is one of the most important aspects of it, because if I see an artwork and it looks janky, automatically I'm like, what's the song going to sound like?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all perception is everything.
Oh, yeah.
So, Quality. Listen, absolutely. So anybody that wants to follow you on your social platforms, where can they follow you at?
Y'all can follow me at Freshie Official. That's FRESHIE Official on all platforms, or Freshie Productions. They all end up looping together, but literally everywhere you can find me.
Okay, most definitely. Who does Freshie want to give thanks to for supporting you through your journey?
I just want to give thanks to my fans and my family. They definitely they're the root of my brand. Like, they keep me grounded, they keep me centered. They remind me of who that kid was back in the day. They remind me of all the things that I've accomplished and the things that I'm destined for. So I just want to say thank you to them. Thank you to my engineer Carby for believing in me. We met through a mutual friend, and just thank you to everybody in Atlanta that actually has my back, for real. Like, I appreciate everybody that has the best interest for me and my mental health, and that just continue to show up with me with asking nothing in return. So
I know that's right. Well, thank you for being here today. You brought through some beautiful energy.
Yes, I appreciate it.
You're like a whole vibe. Like, the definition of a vibe is going to have your photo next to it. I'm so serious. Like, I love your energy. I love your vibe. And it's like, I don't catch that all the time with people. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Maybe it's that Sagittarius and there's something. I'm loving it, though, because you got a strong personality. I think that's what I like, because I got that big, strong personality, too.
Yeah.
So.
And you got that light energy. So it's like, when you meet another person with light energy, genuine energy, too, it's like, it's a match. You know what I mean? It's a match. All right.
100%.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah. I'll be back.
So go ahead and introduce the record. We'll check it out.
All right. Like I said, I've been doing the one single a month challenge. I think this is month number 7 or 8. It's called Gotta Go. Basically popping my shit and letting y'all know what I'm all about. So we're going to go ahead and drop that for them. Hey, the Hype 87.3. We here, baby.
Let's go. Oh.
Come and see what all the hype is about. Tune in to the Hype 87.3.
But really what you be talking about? I be making moves out here, that's never what you talk about. You be hating on me, but to me it's never